How's it going, folks? Jeremy Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to another weekend news drop. And in case you missed a couple that I've put out already over the last few days, you can check them out in the cards on the top right of the screen. Alright, let's get straight into the news, beginning with Funcom's Age of Conan. This MMORPG is celebrating its 11th anniversary, and you could pick up some shiny new loot. The event runs until the 30th of May and features bonuses like double Atlantean shards from Raid Finder daily challenge chests. There's special daily event rewards too, like the new Savage Keshian Panther mount, which can be claimed on the 14th day, and a new pet, and more. Congratulations on 11 years, Age of Conan. For you folks eagerly anticipating the Elder Scrolls Online's Elsweyr chapter and haven't watched much previews of the PDS so far in terms of group content, well, ZeniMax Online Studios has shared some details about what you can expect in terms of group content in this chapter, specifically about the new trial called Sunspire. Trials are 12-man instances in ESO, and in this one, dragons are the main theme, just like the rest of the content this cycle. Sunspire is located in the Temple of the First Cat in Elsweyr, and players will come face to face with the Golden Dragon Navintas, who claims to be the avatar of Alkosh. And all the bosses in here are dragons, of course, and each will have their own unique fight mechanics, which should be fun. Most importantly, of course, is the loot and rewards, and yes, this post does detail what you can get, like the False God's Devotion light armor set and some cool titles for completing achievements in here. Now, ZOS also listened to feedback and are including cosmetic rewards like the Sunspire Ice Fire skin, which looks awesome, for completion of the veteran mode, and to incentivize players doing it at the hardest level, which means completing all the achievements, the hard mode, and yes, the speed run too, you will get the Icefire Lion mount as well. I will link the post below for you to check out, and overall, I'm pretty excited to give this trial a shot and earn that skin for my Necro. Final Fantasy XIV's producer and game director Yoshida has put out a producer's letter this week, and the content is really worth discussing as it deals with questions like why wasn't a new healer job included for the upcoming Shadowbringers expansion, and why the Viera race was picked over something else. Starting with the former, the answer was that adding a fourth healing job would overcomplicate balance to the current healing mix, and they wanted to give tanks and physical range DPS jobs more diversity to improve balance there instead. So the answer is balance, easy. Now, about races and the Viera in particular. Firstly, Viera was the most requested playable race for a very long time, and they wanted to include it back in the Heavensward expansion, but opted for the Aura instead. So now is the best opportunity for them to make their debut, according to Yoshi, and it had to be gender locked to females only. There was no other way. Perhaps the most important takeaway from this letter is that this could be the very last time that Final Fantasy XIV players will get a new playable race in-game, as the cost to develop new races is taking its toll. One of the reasons given was that the team has to go back and remodel all the equipment and gear to fit the new race model rigs, which does take away resources from current development. So folks, this is it. The last playable races are coming. What's your thoughts on the matter? Moving on, let's talk about that new Asian MMORPG coming to the West this summer, Astellia. This week, the developers put the spotlight on the game's gear progression system, and now we know what that's all about. Are you ready for it? It's the good old enhancement system. Their video, which I linked below, will take you through the steps, and if by any chance you've played an Asian MMO of some kind in the past, you'll probably get how this works. I'll summarize it for you just in case. So gear can be dismantled to gain enhancement stones, and once you have the right amount, you can enhance your gear through the dedicated UI panel to get better stats in your adventures. Once you hit the level cap of 50, however, and are enhancing level 50 gear, you can try to get ranks all the way up to rank 10 through enhancing, but there is of course a risk of failure, and at rank 7 and above, you could lose enhancement levels if you fail. There's also an evolution system, and I like the sound of this more because if you have a level 42 piece of gear that has the best stats for your class, for example, you can evolve it to change its level bracket all the way up to 50, which means you don't have to grind for new gear once you hit the level cap, and you can bring some leveling gear with you to the top, although that may prove costly in terms of resources and stones. And finally, there's the rune system, in which you can craft runes or acquire them from dungeons and slot them into gear. So offensive runes go on weapon rune slots, and defensive runes go on armor slots. It's a really familiar gear progression system that we've seen from previous MMOs, so let's wait for the open beta to see how punishing or rewarding these systems will be. In the meantime, do you folks prefer this method over the gear treadmill and group dungeon and currency farming to get gear? What are your thoughts? Share them below. Rift is about to shake things up, especially for you folks playing on the European shards. Due to the transition to the Google Cloud platform, the European cluster will be undergoing server merges on June 5th. This should improve both server performance and capacity overall. Once done, the following shards on screen right now will be the ones remaining. And on a final note, Gamigo says the population no longer warrants support for an open world PvP server, and that's why players on the Blood Iron PvP server will be merging into the Typheria PvE instead. Ashes of Creation are keeping its backers in the loop with ongoing development drops, and this week we got to look at the hippogriffs in the world of Vera and the game's animal husbandry system that allows you to create a variety of creatures to use as mounts or pets in-game. Hippogriffs will have a few varieties, as the video and official post highlights, and it's nice to see that things like different barding types or breeds are all factors that shapes what you can or cannot do. We've seen and used these creatures before, I think in Apocalypse, the Battle Royale game, where we got a taste of how it feels like to fly down onto the map atop one of these things. So let's hope for more development spotlight that shows more of what's coming to Ashes of Creation besides just the usual node technology and more creatures. Now, if you're thinking of playing Black Desert Online on the Xbox One, now's a good time, I guess, because two big things have arrived for BDO on the console this week. Firstly, the Valencia update is now live in-game, bringing with it the Valencia region, absolute skills, new items, and UI improvements too. Secondly, the game is now part of the Xbox Game Pass as of this past week, so subscribers, you'll receive a special in-game item, 10% off all Pearl Shop purchases, and 20% off the Standard, Deluxe, and Ultimate Edition bundles. And to wrap up this news drop, let's take a look at the not-so MMORPG section and talk about Monster Hunter World and its upcoming expansion, Iceborne. Earlier in the week, Capcom announced that come September 6th, MHW players will enter the Iceborne expansion that begins an all-new story featuring new snowy regions and terrains and of course new monsters to whack. Iceborne will also introduce a new higher difficulty, which is the master rank for challenge seekers, some gameplay changes to combat, especially for the slinger, and each of the 14 weapon types will also get new combos and elements to play with. The Iceborne expansion standard edition will cost you $40, and you will need the base game to access the new content. For PlayStation 4 players, from now until the 20th of May, you can take part in a free trial to check out Monster Hunter World if you are interested. I am interested in MHW, just never had the time to get around to it. So if you've been playing it, feel free to share thoughts. Is this game worth playing or not? And that's all the news I've got for now, folks. I dare say you'll see me again soon, as the news drop this month so far just keeps on flowing. Well, I hope you had a good weekend so far, and I'll see you in the next video. Hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more on MMOs. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching. Hey folks, thanks so much for watching that video. If you guys want to watch more, you can click the subscribe button at the bottom there or somewhere over here. And don't forget to hit that bell to get notified on all my latest videos. So I'll see you guys at the next vid. Take care.